These foreigners are ruining Japan. Oh god.
Riding a bullet train without paying, breaking into an active construction site,
Yep.
begging locals for money, stealing food from a Kyoto hotel, or breaking into a truck. What do you want to do when you come to Japan? There seems to be a worrying trend now where foreign influencers are treating Japan like it's a cross between Disneyland and The Purge, a theme park where rules don't matter and you can pretty much get away with anything. In a world where all that matters now is click-through rates on YouTube videos or audience retention on a kick stream, desperate creators are going to desperate lengths to get the attention they sorely crave. And unfortunately,
This is what happens, right? Everybody is trying to do this because they can make a lot of money doing it. That's exactly what it is. Kick streamers, yeah, they're ruining it for everyone. Oh, they are.
Unfortunately, it seems what better place to exploit people's kind-hearted nature and goodwill for content than here in Japan.
Well, the reason why people do this in Japan and not in El Salvador is because, well, we all know why, don't we? Everybody knows why. Why don't they do this in Dubai? Yeah, why don't they do this in China? It's very unfortunate that people use the Japanese culture of, you know, politeness and, you know, like low conflict, etc., as a, you know, a green light to be annoying.
Foreign influencers have been in the public news quite a bit in Japan over the last few months. And with the release of a video just yesterday by YouTuber Phidias getting thrown off a Shinkansen for not paying, amongst other things, the topic looks set to make a very unwelcome comeback this week. So in this video we'll take a look at who these dickheads are and what's been going on, as well as exploring how this has been playing out in Japan amongst both the public and the Japanese government. Because
yeah, see, this is what's happening. I saw a picture of this already too. Is that now, because of these assholes, there are a lot of places in Japan that are now like, just don't make videos and live stream here. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to have the pressure, the problems, or anything that comes along with it. And like, that sucks.
it certainly hasn't gone unnoticed. And look, this isn't just a foreigner YouTube problem. Japan has its own fair share of domestic nuisance YouTubers.
Oh, God. I love that term. Nuisance YouTubers. That is so fucking perfect. Oh my God, that's the best thing I've heard all day. Nuisance YouTubers. Jesus. This doesn't even stop these guys. It will only stop the regular people. Well, it won't, but it will also give them immediate grounds to say, hey, you're doing the thing you're not supposed to be doing. We're kicking you out. You didn't read the sign. You know, like it provides like a foundation for them to be like, yeah, okay, so this is, you're doing it wrong.
And it's taken some pretty bizarre measures to counter them as well.
Oh my God.
But both as a foreigner living in Japan and as a YouTuber, naturally, I feel like this is something I need to talk about. Yeah. Do I want to talk about it? No, I don't. As you know, I like talking about happy things. In fact, to produce this video, I had to completely scrap the fun pre-planned content that I had in store. But my policy on YouTubers and streamers doing shitty things has always been to ignore them, for fear of bringing them any more attention or notoriety. And I only do so today.
I think it's okay to talk about stuff that, bad stuff that people do. I feel like that's totally fine. I don't like the idea that, oh, you shouldn't talk about this or it draws more attention to it, because I think drawing more attention to it might give it more popularity in the short term, but it also brings it to its ultimate conclusion faster. Because everybody knew this wasn't going to last, right? Everybody knew it wasn't going to last.
Because in the case of the first...
Imagine if Americans complained about the shit Japanese people do over here. I don't know. I feel like if a Japanese person came to America and was super obnoxious, everybody would be pissed off at them. Like, yeah, everybody would be mad. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's not... Yeah, when has this happened?
End that we'll talk about, Johnny Somali, a kick streamer. He's already reached a high level of notoriety after his recent arrest. Yeah. And his story is important as it gives context to why people are so fed up that this has happened again. And by talking about the second person, who is a YouTuber, hopefully YouTube will take more aggressive action against creators that make shitty content like this. Also, if you're having a good day where you've got some sort of faith in humanity, you might want to stop watching right now, as I've discovered learning about these...
Well, I think also, like, you can let the free market take its course too, because I feel like, yes, while there are always 12-year-olds that like to watch this content, there are people who have already turned 13 who no longer find it funny. And I think that really this kind of content becomes less funny the more people see it.
Fucking idiots really doesn't do you any favours. Back in September, kick streamer Johnny Somali was arrested after repeatedly causing mayhem around the country. Whether it was standing on a train with a loudspeaker harassing train passengers.
Yep.
Yo, what is this, bro?
Wandering onto a construction site and being thrown off by mortified workers. Or of course, breaking into a truck for lunch. For 6 months, frustratingly, he pretty much got away with it all.
It's crazy. He just like walked into a random person's truck. As I said, why doesn't he go do this over in Dubai? Go do this in Qatar. Yeah. Why is it always Japan?
Somali being in the UK, he would have discovered the definition of human punch bag very fucking fast. But unfortunately in Japan, people go about their lives keen to avoid conflict or disputes, especially given how rare it all is. And when people see outlandish, disrespectful behaviour, they're far less likely to confront it than they would in North America or Europe.
Yeah.
And with the authorities seemingly inactive or oblivious to this toxic behaviour for the longest time, it got to the point where vigilante stream snipers were actively seeking him out, leading him to get knocked out by a foreign tourist in what might be his second greatest stream. And during this time I purposely avoided the topic because I just didn't want to bring attention to...
Yeah, I also find it to be kind of funny that the only person who finally knocked him out wasn't even a Japanese person. So he didn't even make he didn't even make the Japanese people break and go down to his level. It never even happened. It was just a random other tourist that was finally like, I'm so sick of this guy, get him the fuck out of here.
Someone like this, you know. There's no such thing, they say, as bad publicity. Fortunately, turns out there is. Eventually, Japanese media caught on to Johnny Somali, and in what was undeniably his greatest stream. He captured his own demise in real time as the police arrested him and tossed him into a cell where he's been for almost 2 months now. If formally charged with trespassing, he could spend up to 3 years in jail, but that's pretty unlikely, and we can only hope he does get to stream his inevitable deportation sometime in the near future. But the damage had already...
Not the near future. I do hope they put him in jail for quite a while. I hope they either deport him and they ban him from the country, or they put him in jail for a while. Like, they should get him the fuck out of there. Personally, I hope that they put him in jail for a long time, just because I think it'll be funny.
Been done, with one of Japan's most powerful politicians speaking out publicly about nuisance streamers, casting a bit of a shadow over regular streamers and YouTubers operating in Japan. And that takes us to now. This week in the relay race of dickhead influencers in Japan, the baton of twattery went from Johnny Somali to Cypriot YouTuber Phidias when he released a video called I Travelled Across Japan for Free.
Isn't it obvious that this guy's an asshole because his hair looks like cotton candy? You can just look at it, like, it's obvious, right? Yeah, Scuff Ninja.
A more accurate title would have been I Travelled Across Japan Without Fucking Paying, as Phidias rode across the country on a Shinkansen without buying a ticket and then camping out in a public toilet while battling an unamused train conductor who later threw him off the train, as well as her...
It's just so weird that somebody would do that. And, like, people do this stuff here in the US, right? But, like, I just think this whole thing, it's like what I said earlier, right? It hits totally different whenever it's a group, whenever it's a guy coming and doing this in a foreign country. Like, if you want to be obnoxious and annoying, do it in your own country. But to have the audacity to go to somebody else's country and be annoying over there, well, what the fuck are you doing?
Harassing locals for money along the way to pay for his bus fare. Although clearly it wasn't enough because he didn't pay the bus fare, and so the bus company took him to the police station to charge him. And if that wasn't enough, as an extra bonus, he also walked into a Kyoto hotel, pretended he was staying to the staff, and stole food from the breakfast buffet. What a man of class. A waste of time for everyone involved, all in the...
And if I was 11, I would think, wow, this guy's really cool. You know, sure. And I think I think the average age of people who like watching this kind of stuff is like 11 or 12. For sure. Yeah, same. Yeah, I get that. I understand it.
Name of the world's shittest YouTube video. I don't know about you, but I don't actually want Phidias to get arrested for this. I want him to be free so he can get to work on his sequel as soon as possible. I Travel Pyongyang for Free. Boy,
there it is. See? Yep. That's what I want to see. Yeah. Yeah, do this in North Korea.
Would I pay good money to see that in action?
I would love
now,
that.
right off the bat, Phidias doesn't have the best reputation. In fact,
Yeah, it's only a minute
if
and a half.
desperation had a physical manifestation, it would be him. After all, the guy once camped outside of Twitter's headquarters for 60 days just to get a hug with Elon Musk himself.
I'm sure they appreciate that.
Scene so hideously awkward, you'll want to go back in time and kill the internet from ever happening. Perhaps this shouldn't be a complete surprise, given this is the same guy who faced a backlash last
I spent 100 hours in the poorest country. This thumbnail really is something else, isn't it? It really is something else.
year for his questionable thumbnail choices. But in a matter of hours, the video had been picked up by netizens online and shared across Japan. In response to the outrage, Phidias did what any good YouTuber would do. He wrote a shit apology. Hello, beautiful people. I apologise to the Japanese people if we made them feel bad. That was not our goal. From now on, I am going to make...
He doesn't capitalize I. He's an idiot. You can tell he's an idiot. It's obvious he's an idiot. You just look at it, you can see he's an idiot.
more research to the cultures we go to.
As I said, I think that there is so much to be shown. If a person cannot properly communicate, they're idiots.
To prevent this from happening again, I love you all. 5 likes from 5 fucking idiots. I'm gonna make more research to the cultures. You know what? Maybe I'll swing by Malaysia. Happening again.
From now on, I am going to make more research to the... Gentlemen. It's just what I said from yesterday. He's a fucking idiot. An absolute fucking idiot. Oh, we have another one. Look at that. Confirmed. Fucking moron. On top as well, I might not have seen that. Isn't it crazy how, like, am I like a bad dude for saying this? That, like, if a person can't properly communicate, I just assume that they're stupid? Because that's really how I feel. Like, if I see somebody that, like, can't communicate or talk properly, I just assume they're stupid. XQC then? No. If you watch XQC get in an argument with people on Twitter, his grammar is immaculate. And also, it's not even his first language. Even if it's a condition? Do you think it's a condition that somebody can't capitalize an I? Oh, it's a condition? Get the fuck out of here. It's just stupid. It's not always a condition. Yeah, stupidity's a condition. Jesus.
I love you all. 5 likes from 5 fucking idiots. I'm gonna make more research to the cultures. You know what? Maybe I'll swing by Malaysia. Maybe I'll steal a truck because maybe that's okay there. Maybe theft is okay. I don't know. Sure. I haven't researched the culture. Or maybe I'll swing by Vietnam and hijack a bus. I don't know. I haven't researched the culture.
Yeah.
Maybe the concept of crime is absent in Asian countries. But clearly Phidias didn't research the culture of India because he did the exact same fucking thing there. Riding a train without paying. But what lies in store for Phidias? Well, if history tells us anything, it's that he should soon begin his narrative arc to becoming an amateur boxer. And who knows what kind of exciting content that we can expect next. Perhaps.
Well, at least Logan Paul had an apology video and everything, and it wasn't just like a random post. Yeah. I think you're a little wrong. My daughter has ASD and struggles with communication. Yeah, I'm sure she's probably like fucking 9. Right? She's like 12 years old. This guy's a grown-ass man. He's been on the internet for years. I guarantee you, by the time that she's his age, she'll be able to communicate better than he can.
I piggybacked across Japan on 100 unwilling strangers. Or perhaps I tried robbing a Japanese 7-Eleven in a day.
Damn.
But there's a tipping point in Japan when something is featured on TV. That's when the outrage is sort of crystallized. And it's impressive how well everyone's forgotten Logan Paul's saga when he came to Japan for the ultimate dickhead speedrun, causing chaos on the streets, smashing...
That was really a, Yeah, Logan Paul was the first one to do this. That's a good point. Holy shit. Well, not the first one, but one of the first ones. Yeah, he's a trendsetter, yeah.
Game Boys and mocking the dead, with the whole episode making national news in Japan. To the point that I ended up on Japan's biggest morning news show in the bizarre position of having to defend all foreign YouTubers ever in the world, which was basically me just sitting on a chair, looking bewildered, going, I'm very angry indeed. It's a good thing I didn't say, but don't worry, it won't happen again.
Yeah, won't have. Well, at least we don't have to worry about this happening again.
Especially with a clip of even more streamers in Japan doing the rounds dressed as Mario, harassing women in the street.
What the fuck, Mario?
Now there is some good news. Just as I was finishing up this video, I did see that the offending video had disappeared, meaning either YouTube took action or he took it down himself. But
That's good. That's good. I'm glad he took the video down. Yeah, it's an overall W. I hope he did.
the damage has already been done. It's already been shared across social media in Japan. People are already kind of pissed off. Japanese rail companies are investigating what happened. And just today, a friend shared with me a photo of his local bar that's just put up a sign banning people from filming, streaming, doing anything inside there. And who can really blame them? Probably a look of things to come.
Yeah, because they don't want to have like their place get harassed and stuff like that. Absolutely not. Why is he not being deplatformed? Literally breaking the laws on camera? I mean, I don't know. I mean, with Johnny Somali, it doesn't matter if he gets deplatformed or not. He's about to get banned.
You know, looking at the bigger picture, it's unfortunate. In 10 years living here, 300 videos on the road, I've very rarely faced any difficulties filming in public. The key is to be respectful, don't be noisy, be mindful of the people around you. And much of my success is down to the fact Japan is so tolerant and so generous when it comes to people filming out and about in public. There's nowhere better to do it. And I worry if this keeps happening, then the day will arrive where every time...
Well, this is the way most people are. I would say, like, Japan is very much like this, but you go to a lot of places in the world, this is the way people are going to be. Most people generally just are polite and kind of friendly, and everything's fine, right? I mean, but it's just that, you know, obviously, like, there are extremes that don't exist in Japan that do exist in other places.
I pull out a camera to film, or a foreign tourist is filming something, just making a video.
Yeah, you never know.
Folks will rush over to sort of say, "Oh, stop filming! Don't film here, please! Damn it, don't film!" Because they're so concerned that something bad is going to happen.
Somebody
and it's a sad
trouble.
turn of events to be confronting, especially as it's the 1-year anniversary of Japan reopening. You know, tourist numbers are almost back to where they were since 2019. It'd be a terrible shame if that is overshadowed by foreign influencers running amok, being disrespectful, and taking advantage of Japan and its people. And I think the only flip side I can find is by raising awareness of that. I kind of want to encourage you guys, if you're ever out there watching something on YouTube or Twitch or Kick, where douchebag influencers are travelling around Japan doing these sort of things, hold them to account, report them, do what you can. That's the only way they can be stopped when they're deprived of the platforms that they use to output.
Well, that's true, because the only reason they're doing it is for money. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Like, they're being harassing and obnoxious and annoying. They're doing all this for money. They want to get money and popularity.
Shitty, awful.
It's not because they have like some
Now, as I said,
ideology.
Japan isn't without its own domestic YouTuber problem.
Sure.
In fact, the country has a word for nuisance YouTubers, meiwakuke. During the pandemic, a YouTuber called Hezumaru was detained for 2 days after a string of questionable activities, including stealing sashimi from a supermarket and laying down a mattress in the middle of Shibuya Crossing. That was never going to end well, let's face it.
So he's like the Japanese Gideon. Alright, cool.
Then this year, somewhat bizarrely, in the run-up to hosting the G7 summit, the Japan Self-Defense Force ran a series of exercises in anticipation of an attack. In this case, in the event that a YouTuber should try to break into a base belonging to the Japan Self-Defense Force, which they reacted to by swarming the individual and searching their car.
Yeah, I bet.
And let's face it, it's the one Logan Paul video that we all want to see. That would be one hell of an episode.
That would be a great
As for Phidias, let's hope his next video is out soon. Staying in Japan for free, with free meals. Fingers fucking crossed.
I stayed in Japan for free. God, I love that. Holy shit, that's amazing. Oh, man. Wouldn't that be the good ending? This is a good video. I didn't know about the Japanese ones that did this too, but yeah, I guess it makes sense. Yeah, there's the video. Make sure to give it a like. Essentially, the whole channel is abroad. Give it some sub and a like. Yeah, I think a lot of people are just tired of this. Like, I know that, like, personally, for, like, as an American, every single time that a person who's not an American goes to another country and makes an ass out of themselves, a lot of us Americans are like, yes. See, it's not only us. See, guys, look, see, they do it too. Like, I remember one time there was a, this, like, Chinese guy that went to the pyramids in Egypt and carved his name on the side of a pyramid. And everybody in the comments was, like, talking like, see, it's not just us Americans. See, they do it too. They do it too. We're not the only ones that do this. Yo, what an asshole. Yeah, I know. Oh, my God. Z was here? Yeah, I was here. There was a Danish guy had sex on top of the pyramids. Yep, there you go. And again, I nuisance YouTubers. God, what a good word for him. Holy shit. Perfect fucking word. Nuisance YouTubers.